Hello. Hola a todos.
Hey, Ilia. I feel like a lot of your fights get a little bit of edge in the lead up towards them. You know, you and Max went back and forth. There's a little bit with you and Volkanovski. But were you surprised that Justin made this as personal as he did?
I was surprised too, a little bit. I wasn't expecting him doing this kind of things, but it is what it is. We ready for everything, for every kind of situations.
He did come in here earlier and say that he was only joking, and you know, it was taken a little bit out of context. I'm curious if you took those words as a joke, or if you feel like these are things that you can't joke about.
That I took it as a joke. What do you mean?
He said that he meant it as a joke. You know, the whole I would leave you as well. Like he was joking when he said that.
He said so many things after what he said. First of all, he said like that he wasn't meaning about the divorce. Then he said that he was joking. Whoever, I don't care. Honestly, you can take anything personal from my idiot. He's an idiot. My father is my dad. That's all.
We have seen.
Did you saw that video?
Yes, I did.
My father is my dad.
We have seen different sorts of Gaethjes in the past. You know, against Fiziev, he was much more technical. Against Paddy, he was much more reckless. Which one are you expecting on fight night? And do you think maybe that's just who he is now, the version we saw against Paddy?
I think that we are gonna see a completely different Justin that we used to see. He's gonna show up in a completely different style. He's gonna try to wrestle. He's gonna try to come out with the hard kicks, with the inside leg low kicks, outside, with the high kicks, with the strategy to go to later rounds and then be like fading and come up with the punches. So what we are expecting is to see a completely different Justin that we used to see.
He has said he wants to come forward, unlike some of your other opponents, which on paper seems like maybe a little bit of a bad idea. Do you think he's just trying to throw you off with some misdirection, perhaps, and actually that's not his strategy?
Listen, if he's going to try to move forward, we all know what's going to happen. I'm going to put him to sleep in the first two minutes. But I don't know how much of what he's saying is the truth, but whatever. He's going to have to deal with my strategy. I'm not going to have to deal with his. So,
last one for me. You are fighting outside, and I've seen you training outside. You're getting used to it. What do you think is the weirdest thing that you might have to face with fighting outside? Is it bugs? Is it the rain? What is the thing that you might be the strangest thing to deal with?
Good question. Actually, I don't know what kind of things that I'm going to be facing fighting outside, since it's the first time that I'm fighting outside. I don't know, but as I told you, we prepared for everything. I'm gonna have to fight in the same circumstances as my opponent. We are gonna be both in the same octagon, dealing with the same. We are gonna have to deal with the same things. Not specifically with the same things, because he's going to have to deal with me and I'm going to have to deal with him, which is a little bit different, but yeah.
Ilia, over here. You're representing Georgia at the White House in the international stage. What does that feel for you to be representing your country of Georgia, a small country in the Caucasus, on such a huge global stage?
It means a lot to me to be representing Georgia and also Spain, place where I grew up. So it means a lot to have both countries supporting me and me representing them in one of the biggest sports events in the history. So, yeah.
And one more question about Georgia. It's a small country, 3 or 4 million people, but you guys are so good in combat sports, UFC champions, wrestling.
Fighters. Fighters. We have that spirit of fighters. That's why Georgia it's keep like standing in the middle of like almost enemy's territory.
Cool, thank you so much.
Ilia, right here to your right. So you are part of this very special group, top fighters, to win belts in 2 divisions, only 11 of them. 3 of them have only managed to defend the belt in first weight classes, or in both weight classes, and none of them have done it well undefeated. So you can make history by being the first to defend titles in 2 weight classes with a perfect record. How important is that to the legacy that you're ultimately trying to build in this career?
Of every title defense, every fight for me is very important. But I don't base my fights anymore in titles and in those kind of things and legacy. I just go in, I do my best, and that's all.
Yeah, a lot of people have talked about what you've built with so much effort and sacrifice. Do you think there's anything about you that people still underestimate?
No lo sé, pero lo que sí sé es que tal vez todavía confunden mi confianza con la arrogancia. Eso es lo que sí que sigo pensando, que mucha gente todavía cree que todo lo que digo viene de la arrogancia porque no tienen ni idea que todo lo que digo realmente viene basado de trabajo duro, de muchísima disciplina y que todo lo que hablo lo hablo basado en hechos. Y muchos dicen que hablo mucho, pero bueno, al final del día también lo demuestro y así lo respaldo.
Is there anything that Justin does better than you?
No sé, la verdad que no he pensado en eso, me pillas un poquito en frío, pero no sé, se echa mejores siestas que yo delante del público, eso seguro.
And who would you like to see Spain facing in the final of the World Cup?
Con quien sea, la verdad, lo único que me importa es verlos ganar.
You've said before that Justin maybe crossed a line in the comments recently. And so what do? You're always calm, cool, collected inside the octagon. How do you just calculate and assess this so that a comment like this and just being bothered about it doesn't turn into something emotional inside the octagon?
Bueno, he pasado por muchas situaciones durante toda mi carrera deportiva, siempre he sabido diferenciar lo personal de lo profesional, no me importa en absoluto lo que me esté diciendo, es personal, pero nunca me suelo llevar lo personal. En lo profesional siempre me suelo mantener en calma y hacer lo que más me convenga a nivel profesional. Entonces el 14 de junio me mostraré una vez más dentro de ese octógono como un profesional, dejando todo lo personal afuera. Y eso es lo que me da la confianza y la fe de que voy a salir victorioso porque sé mantener la calma bajo presiones de ese estilo.
After everything that you've gone through, you know, we talked about the personal situations and everything that you've gone through. Are we ready to see Ilia Topuria that's going to be even more, again, more disciplined, more calculated, more hard work, and someone at a whole nother level?
Bueno, siempre me he considerado una persona mentalmente fuerte, siempre aferrándome a mi fe. Obviamente todas las experiencias que he tenido afuera del octógono me han dado una madurez diferente, pero es difícil decir que voy a estar mentalmente mejor teniendo los resultados que he tenido a lo largo de mi carrera, ¿no? Siempre el Ilia con la mentalidad y con la fe me ha traído hasta aquí, entonces ser mejor que ese, bueno, no sé. Pero menos, eso seguro que no voy a hacer.
To go back to the start of your career, brothers fighting, everything that you've gone through, and now to be in this, the main event and the most important event in history that you're seeing this. How does it feel to be the head of the press?
Me emociona, me siento muy orgulloso. Es una prueba más a través del ejemplo de que da igual de dónde vengas y sabes hacia dónde vas, todo es posible en esta vida. Y eso es lo que más me gusta, ¿no? Como inspirar a la gente a través del ejemplo. Para mí personalmente también haber empezado con mi hermano, con mi familia y con todo mi equipo desde la nada y llegar hasta aquí, bueno, pues me llena de orgullo de ser parte de un evento que va a ser no simplemente el más grande de la historia de la UFC, sino de los deportes en general, porque va a ser un evento histórico y tener la oportunidad de encabezarlo, pues se siente como una bendición. Y aquí estoy, aprovechando cada segundo que Dios me da para vivirlo, con muchísimo agradecimiento, y el 14 de junio no tengo ninguna duda que celebraré una victoria más con todo mi equipo. Y celebraremos todo el trabajo y todo el empeño que hemos puesto en este proyecto que nos da vida.
And what would be the most valuable teaching that you teach your son that you would like everyone to hear from you?
What I always used to say, through discipline, hard work, humility, you can achieve anything in this life. Life is a dream, so dream on till the dream comes true.
In a couple of interviews before this fight, or leading up to this fight, you've mentioned that this was the one that money was not an issue whatsoever. And I have the curiosity from something that comes from Marvin Hagler. He said it gets harder and harder to wake up earlier when you sleep in silk sheets. How have you kept that poise and waking up early and continue the hard work knowing you've accomplished so much up at those?
Buena pregunta, la verdad. No sé quién fue la persona que dijo eso de que era mucho más difícil levantarse por la mañana en sábanas de seda. Puedo estar de acuerdo en algunas cosas, pero bueno, también es como una demostración a mí mismo de que no lo hago simplemente por lo material, y también necesitaba como demostrarme a mí mismo eso, ¿no? De que, porque muchas veces mucha gente se marca los objetivos en la vida basándose en lo material y todo lo que eso le va a traer. Pero yo me he dado cuenta que realmente no me he marcado este objetivo de recorrer todo este camino simplemente por las cosas materiales, ¿no? Y esto es una demostración para mí mismo de que lo que hago lo amo y viene desde el fondo de mi corazón.
Let's talk about the team a little bit, Javi, Alexander as well, and everybody that's around you all the time. How do they help you to stay, as we like to say here, grounded with your feet on the ground and always, poised and always focused on things and not let the noise from outside bother you?
Bueno, una cosa es todo esto, pero al final nosotros somos seres humanos normales, de carne y hueso, que nos reímos, nos lo pasamos muy bien, hemos estado en situaciones donde no hemos tenido nada de esto y estábamos trabajando en donde no teníamos ni un ojo puesto. Agradezco a cada persona que forma parte de mi equipo, a mi familia, por transmitirme y por darme los valores que tengo hoy en día. Y no sé, yo soy una persona que yo creo que el que me conoce sabe que siempre he tenido los pies en el suelo, pero siempre he tenido también la cabeza en las estrellas, y espero seguir siendo así.
It is very clear your confidence of a win on Saturday against Justin Gaethje. So, have you thought about the next step? What comes next? I mean, have you thought about maybe after a win like this, going up in weight and facing Islam Makhachev, or maybe now that Conor's back, we know he's fighting soon. So, would you like to fight him? So, what comes next? Or have you thought about this?
Sinceramente no lo he pensado en absoluto que va a ser lo siguiente. Antes tenía un lugar de retador en donde tenía que yo retar a la gente para tener su lugar de campeón, o el lugar que yo quería tener. Ahora yo creo que me he ganado mi lugar donde me tienen que buscar a mí. Entonces, el que quiera un trocito de esto, pues que toque la puerta. Tal vez se la abrimos.
In your previous fights, and your previous fight specifically, we looked at the ratings, and the ratings were compared to very important soccer matches. And now, with a fight like this in such an important moment, and even during the World Cup, do you think this will get to that level of ratings?
Yo creo que vamos a alcanzar muy buenos números. Tengo la suerte de contar con muchísimo apoyo desde España, desde Georgia, así que vamos, sin lugar a dudas, vamos a hacer buenos números, pero al final del día tampoco baso ni mi vida personal ni profesional en ninguno de esos números, ¿sabes? Que el que me quiera apoyar se lo agradezco desde el fondo de mi corazón, y el que no, bueno, pues que le vaya bien en su vida.
People sometimes compare your undefeated rise and dominance in this sport to the career of Khabib. Do you think such comparisons make sense? And if you had ever met Khabib in the octagon, how do you think that fight would have played out?
I leave that man alone. He's already retired. How it play, I don't know. And I guess we're never going to know. I don't think he's going to come back ever. So I have nothing more than respect for Khabib. He had an amazing run in the UFC and during his whole professional career. So right now I think it's not worth it to talk about him.